What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. This is a test. Testing this thing out before we get started. Y'all give me a second. I'll be right with you. Give me a second. Give me a second. I'll be right with you. Give me a second. Let's see. All right, this real quick. Go back. All right, no show. Okay. That's interesting. Go back, go back, go back. Let's see. Guys live. Doesn't see it. Should see it. Give me a second. Give me a second, folks. In my turn right now anyway, so give me a second. I'm trying to find see why that's weird. This is weird. This is weird. Give me a second, folks. Give me a second. 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 But if you can hear me, that'll help too. I'm just trying to make sure that we're not going live in vain. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. Uh-oh. Saw this then. Saw this then. There we are. Let me see if we can hear. Can y'all hear me? If you can hear me, put a thumb in the chat. If you can hear me. Okay. Okay. All right. All right, y'all. All right, y'all. We're cooking with hot grease. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. First off, I'm gonna start by I'm gonna come on in a second. I'm gonna show my face in a second. But I was doing some things, and I want to make sure the volume was straight, that you can hear me. You can hear me correctly and hear me clearly. So we got that straightened out. So now I can come on and I can share a little bit and talk a little bit. And anytime I start my lives and I talk, if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe. And let me get the notes out of the way. We do Testimony Tuesdays every Tuesday. We thank God, because I know I'm not the only person that God's been good too. So every Tuesday we do Testimony Tuesday. So you can email me at testimonytuesdays@gmail.com, and we're gonna come on. I come on and I share testimonies that people have sent to me, that email me. I share those every Tuesday. So yeah. I hope y'all didn't think that I was gonna talk about demons. I hope y'all didn't think I was gonna talk about demons and talk about how demons are around me, and I talk about angels and God being around me. Hope y'all didn't think that. Hope y'all didn't think that, because you can't have one. You can't have one without the other. You know what I'm saying? You can't have one and not have the other. You gotta have both. It's like the sun and the rain and the clouds and everything else. You gotta have them So without the sun, without this beautiful sun that we see, the sun is shining, it's bright, the clouds are out, the clouds are shining, the birds are chirping, you know, listen to that. The little thing. People don't think we don't think about that stuff. The little things, the birds chirping, the grass is green. Look at the grass. Look at that green grass. Some of it dead. Some of it's not too green, but all the same. This is some green grass here. Look at it. Look at this. I want to show the green grass. See, look at that green grass. I don't know what part of the world you live in, where you at, but here in sunny South Florida, it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. And so I talked a little bit yesterday. I talked a little bit about demons and not necessarily demons, but negative energy. And you can call you can say, why is that still on there? Why is that still there? That shouldn't be there. But anyway, I don't know if y'all can see it or not, but um negative energy is everywhere. It's all around us. Positive energy is around us too. You just have to discern, and focus on, or try to focus on if you can. Try to focus on the good energy and not the bad. Because they both try to derail you, try to lead you in the direction you want to go in, especially when it comes from people you care about. But but um but I spoke a little bit about that yesterday. So now we're gonna talk about angels and God being around you, because both, you have both. But, and one of the subscribers, or one of the people that was on my live one day, he commented. He said, you got two wolves inside you. You have two wolves inside you, and the wolf that wins is the one you feed the most. And I like that. I love that. The wolf that you feed the most is the one that wins. And I was in a dark space. I shared a story a while ago, years ago. I shared a story. I share it often, but it's true. I'm gonna share it again, obviously. That's why I set my shot up so I can do a layup or a jump shot. But years ago, well, actually like seven years ago, 8 years ago, I was I went to Arizona. I went to Arizona. Oh, it's bad. I went to Arizona, and I was in school. I'm trying to figure out how I can do this better. Yeah, turn this way. Yeah, turn this way. Yeah, I was in Arizona, and I went to night transportation. Those familiar with trucking and the trucking industry, night transportation. I was trying to get my CDL license, and so I went, and my mom sacrificed, and people that I knew cared about me. My dad, he sent me some money, the sacrifice to go to trucking school, or to get a job with night transportation. And so when I went, they some of you may have heard this before. If you follow my channel, you probably heard it before, but yeah, I don't get to the point about the angels and everything too. That's pretty much why I'm talking, why I'm sharing the story, so you can get the gist of what happened, and why I say angels are around you. So don't just think I'm just talking. But because I don't like to talk. I don't like to really talk. I like to share. I don't like the gatekeep. But anyway, enough of that. Anyway, I went tonight, right? I went tonight, transportation. I went to school. And Arizona from Florida is not a cheap flight. It's not a cheap flight. It's fairly reasonable, but they told me then, I don't know how they do it now, but then they were saying that you can't you can't you have to pay for your own room and board, and this and that, blah blah blah, which was a lie. They told the recruiter lied to me because when I got there, I found out people had gotten their room paid, but it set me up. So anyway, I ended up sleeping in the terminal. Sleeping in the terminal. If you ever been to, probably some of you probably never been to a trucking facility, but every trucking company, most of them have a terminal where the drivers can come. They can sit, they can watch TV and this and that. They take showers. They got a shower in there. They got a TV in there. They got little knickknacks. They got a microwave. You can eat food and everything. So anyway, I was sleeping in the terminal when I first got there. I went, got off the plane, got an Uber to the not an Uber, but I got a ride to the terminal, and I sat and waited till training day. So I went first day, study. But anyway, fast forward, I end up first time because you got in order to get a CDL license, they have 3 tests that you take. They have the pre-trip test. They have the offsets, straight back, and then they have the road test, right? And so I first time I took it, I failed the pre-trip, and so after passing the pre-trip, I took the road test, and they're fine on the road, driving and everything. They're fine on the road, but coming inside, going back in, confident, happy that I passed. I went inside and I hit the curb, and that's automatic failure. And they had told us about it coming in the curb. They had told us about it, but confidence. I felt like I knew I had passed because I had done everything right, and I was happy, excited, and I wasn't paying attention. And I went, I turned too close, and I hit the curb, and so I failed. And so they sent me packing, sent me back home. Now just imagine, people. It wasn't about me. It wasn't about me. I didn't care about that. I didn't care that I failed. I wasn't worried about that. I cared about the people that sacrificed for me to go. I felt like I let them down. And I don't know if you ever experienced that, or if you have, maybe you haven't, but it meant a lot. It hurt me a lot to have them. It still hurts me now thinking about it. It hurts me now, even though I made it. It still hurts me now thinking about that I failed and let them down. And I came home, and people laughed at me. Well, before I came home, right? That's one of the angels. Being around you. Before I came home, they failed me, and they told me you can get two chances to pass the test, but it's really 3. They lied to me. They sent me home because eventually they had to give me a room, and for whatever reason, they didn't give me 2 chances. They only gave me 2. So night, get you night transportation get you. Thank you, Swift. I love Swift. Thank you, Swift. God bless Swift. God don't know Swift. God bless I don't care what people say about Swift. Swift changed my life. Anyway, so yeah, I was on the bus. It said, well, you failed 2 times. You're going home. You get your ticket going home. They sent me home on the bus on Greyhound, and so I got to New Orleans. I got to New Orleans, Louisiana, and I'm feeling bad and this and that. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm almost home, and almost in tears. But a lady came up to me, and she said, say, everything gonna be all right. I said, everything gonna be all right. You're blessed. Say you're blessed and you're loved, and everything's gonna be all right. Like, okay, like why you telling me this? You don't know me. You don't know me like that. Why you telling me I'm blessed and I'm loved? Like, I don't need your, I don't need your. I was already pissed off. I don't need you to give me no advice. I'm blessed and I'm loved. Who are you? So anyway, you know, fast forward, fast forward. He says it again. Say you're blessed and you're loved, and everything's gonna be all right. I said okay. So get on the bus. We all get on the bus. We go. We had another stop. That was in New Orleans. We got another stop in Mobile. But you know Greyhound, they stop everywhere. Greyhound is a good ride. I like Greyhound. I like Greyhound. You know, I ain't no knocking Greyhound. I like Greyhound. But anyway, we stopped in Mobile, and so she came to me again. She say, you blessed. Hey, welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. She said, hey, just remember what I said. So you blessed and you loved, and everything's gonna be all right. And she hugged me. The lady hugged me. I'm like, okay. That's the thank you. I said thank you. By then I'm like, you know, something's about this lady. Something about this is about her that for her to keep saying that to me. Something's going on with her. And so we get on the bus and we head out. We get down the road, and I say, you know, I thought to myself, I say, I'm a real butthole. I say I'm a real asshole. And forget the language for those that are Christians and that are holier than thou. But you know, I say I'm a real butthole, right? And you know, got a little bit down the road, and so I'm thinking about that, right? And so get down the road. I said, let me get up and talk to her and tell her, you know, talk to her, say a couple words to her, because this mud back there. Say a couple words to her, right, and talk to her. And so I got up to talk to this lady. And the lady was gone. The lady wasn't there. And so I came home. I thought about that. I told that story a number of times. The fans, family members, some believe it, some don't. But I'm telling you, I don't smoke reefer. I used to smoke weed. I used to love Pine Island, but I used to love Pine Island, but I wasn't on Pine Island then, and I wasn't drinking then either. I wasn't doing no kind of drugs then. No Pine. I mean, one time I seen something. I called my auntie and told my auntie about it. She say, "Well, what you were doing? You was doing any drugs?" Or like, "Nah, auntie, I wasn't doing no drugs. It just happened." And demons. You know, I should have said a story yesterday about demons. But yeah, it was a demon. It was a demon, like a big, tall, a huge shadow. Like that's where I shouldn't have been. But shadow kept coming. Anyway, I ain't gonna talk about that. Talking about angels right now and God. But anyway, fast forward. The angel told me that everything would be all right, and that's minute. That's minute compared to what I've experienced, what I've seen, what I witnessed. And I shared a story about my father and his journey. You know, it's Memorial. Matter of fact, it's Memorial Day. It's Memorial Day. Wearing this hat. It's not my hat. It's his hat. So let's share a little bit about that too. You know, military story. You know, when you at the you know, military has a mess hall, I guess, what they call a mess hall, where people come. Or, I don't know if it's called a mess hall or not. I'm just using that vernacular, using that word, because that's what I think it's called. Maybe somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But they have a little bar where people go and people have a couple of cocktails, a couple of drinks. And so my dad was in there. And the guy came, a minister came, a chaplain came in there and said, try to witness to people, like the Jehovah Witness, and people talk about Jehovah Witnesses, and I don't get into what they believe and all that kind of stuff. But I'm happy with the fact that they come out and try. Well, they don't really try. They just put the sign out, and well, anyway, all right, forget that. forget I said that. Because they don't try, and they should, but they don't try. Anyway, let's move forward. Let's move past that. Anyway, so my dad was at the bar, and the chapter came in, and he was trying to witness, and telling people about God. And my dad say, the only God is money. And the only God is money. I'm touching that for a second, because I said this yesterday too. We live in a capitalist society. And people have decided to chase, financial stature, chase what they can get, what they can have, rather than chasing God. People have, excuse me, I almost slipped. I said excuse me like somebody was there. People have decided to chase finances rather than chase God. And so anyway, my dad say, "What no God but money?" And the chaplain said, because my dad was a lieutenant. My dad was a lieutenant in the military, and coming from where he came from, felt like he had made it. He never tell me that, but I'm sure he did. Ain't no question in my mind that he did. You know what I'm saying? He had feel like he made it, right? And so he the chaplain say, I'm gonna fast. I'm gonna fast and pray that God shows you that He exists. And I said when I heard that story, and my younger brother was real sick at the time. He got real sick, and pretty much they said he was gonna die. And they had tried everything, and took him to the hospital. They tried everything. He gave him every kind of medicine they can give him. They did everything they could do for him. Right? Everything. They did everything they could do for him, and the doctors told my parents just to take him home, and pretty much say your goodbyes, because he was out of here. And so Easter Sunday, Resurrection Sunday, they say he rose. Some say, some criticize, some talk, but we ain't gonna get into that either. But Easter Sunday, I was scheduled to do an Easter speech. Or Easter Sunday, I was scheduled to do a speech, and my mom say she wanted to hear me do the speech. And my dad was like, Moon. They call me Moon. My family call me Moon. People that close to me and know me call me Moon. And just say, Moon, Moon know that speech already. You don't need to hear him do that speech, because he already he know it, right? He know it. And so he said, okay, let's go to the church. They end up going to the church. And what a minister was, and they were saying that does anybody in the church need prayer or whatever, if you need prayer or whatever. And they were arguing about, said they would fight. Mama said they would fight. They were arguing about who's gonna take the baby up, who's gonna take my brother up to get prayer, and neither one of them want to go. And so she said, fine, she said, I'm gonna go. And she took my brother up, and the minister say, "Will the father of this child come up?" So will the father of this child come up? Same minister that the same chaplain that he told that there was no God, right? Hey, and I'm gonna say this: my father knew better. He knew better. To say something like that, but in the moment, at the time, he just said something to say it. But anyway, he said, "Will the father come up?" And so my dad went up, and the chaplain asked him, and I love this. I love it. I love this. The chaplain asked him, right? That chaplain asked him, say, "Do you believe?" He say, "Do you believe in God? Do you believe in God?" One more time for people that hear me way in the back. He asked my father, "Do you believe in God? Do you believe?" And my father said, "Yes, I believe." He said, "I believe." He said, "Yes, I believe." And so they prayed over my brother. The people, the elders, they call them elders, the elders of the church, the older people. Like, we don't have that no more. We don't have the elders that pray for you and come to your house and work things out for you when things go wrong. The church has become a show. In some cases, church has become a place where people don't want to come. Church should be a place where you come when you need some help. Nowadays, I don't get into all that either. But anyway, y'all pray for me. But listen, so the elders of the church, they prayed for him. They got in the circle. Put my brother. They got around my brother. All of them got around my brother, and they prayed for him. And they say, take him home and feed him. And he's been eating ever since. So I said that to say that God exists, demons exist, angels exist. You have to decide, if I'm gonna say this, don't shout at the fence. It's hard. Like I always say, I like me to talk to you every now and then. Every now and again. I like me a cocktail. But we human. Just take it day by day. But tell God thank you for where you at. Tell God thank you for where you're going. Tell God thank you for what you can see. Tell God thank you for what you don't see. Tell God thank you for the highs, the lows, the hills, the valleys. Thank God for it all. Because wherever you at in your life, someone has it worse, someone has it better. Somebody, if you threw your hand down, then somebody else pick it up and run with it. So, with that being said, y'all be safe, y'all be blessed, and like I always say, tell somebody you love them, because you never know when you're gonna go, you never know when they're gonna go. Kiss the ones you love, you never know you kiss them again. Also, a kind word, something small, something minute, a kind word kind of goes a long way. Say something kind, do something kind, and you'll be surprised how that kind work that could have changed somebody's life. I'm testimony to that. A kind work could have changed my life. I thank God for the people every day. So, with that being said, y'all be safe, y'all be blessed, and also check out Testimony Tuesdays. I do it every Tuesday, because I'm not the only person that God's been good to, and we share the goodness of God. We share stories about how God has blessed us, how we made it through. We share all that good stuff. So if you want to share your story, if you want to share your testimony, if you want to share the goodness of God, the blessings of God, then make sure you email me at testimonytuesdays@gmail.com. That's testimonytuesdays@gmail.com. With that being said, y'all be safe, y'all be blessed. Have a great and prosperous Thursday, Throwback Thursday. I should have Throwback Thursday story for you. Throwback Thursday story for you about my dad, about my family, about me, about the goodness of God. And sometimes you can't see. You can't see it. It says, and I'm gonna hit you with a song before I get off of here. I've had some good days. I've had some hills to climb. I've had some lonely days. And some lonely nights. But when sorry, I'm writing, not singing though. But when I look around and I think things over, all of my good days outweigh my bad days, and I won't complain. Sometimes the clouds hang low and I can't hardly see the road, and I ask the question, Lord, why so much pain? But He knows what's best for me, more than His weary eyes they can't see. So I'll just say, thank you, Lord, and I won't complain. So with that being said, y'all be safe, y'all be blessed. I see you next video. I'm out. Peace.